immediately when this happens, our security team, they're contacting us. I assure you, every person in this space, their companies, their teams, they made phone calls. Everything's been dialed up as high as it can be dialed up. I mean, just a week ago, I was saying like, wow, things have calmed down. Where are the riots? It seems like we're winning. And I think this is what happens when it is perceivable that to everybody, including your adversaries, that you're winning, they take these desperate moves. The question for us is, I had an event planned with Alex Stein for October. It was a campus event. I had actually reached out to Charlie saying that, I'd love to do some of these if possible. We were planning more. This was earlier in the year, and so we were like, let's see what time we have in the fall. I'm super busy, so we found a date, and we're like, let's give it a shot. It's canceled. And
canceled it.
Well,
I'm glad.
I can't do it.
I'm glad you canceled it.
But now we also have these live venue events, and it looks like I have no choice but to cancel them, or at least I can't be there.
I'm not for or against you canceling them, but how would you respond to somebody who says that's them winning?
Indeed. And so the debate was, they are celebrating right now. Their Daily Mail has a video, I'm not going to show it,
Good.
of leftists celebrating. A video's gone viral. People have taken all these leftists, they're dancing and they're cheering. There are people outside of universities right now, and there's videos of them cheering and high-fiving and celebrating. They called for it. They're happy that it's happened, and they threatened me. And so the debate is, we do a show every night. I do a morning show, 2 morning shows, technically 3, because we break the interview up, and this nightly show. We reach millions of viewers. We can keep doing that, or I can risk dying to go to a crowd of 500. And so maybe you want to say, yes, they've shut down our public events and they've isolated us to these spaces. But what is the answer?
Terrorist one, we're terrorized.
No, stay inside.
Yes.
You got to stay inside. Kennedy got hit, John F. Kennedy, when he was outside, and they realized you can't parade the president out in the open anymore. So they stopped. Yeah. Guns are too easy to find now. And it's the same thing with if you're a high-level political personality.
John Lennon was walking into a hotel.
Yeah, and
but guys,
there's nothing you can do.
Hold on, Elaad, what you were talking about, like, they haven't won because you're not doing a public appearance. They've only won if you stop doing the show, if you stop talking about these things, if you stop bringing the opposing argument.
They've struck fear into your heart where you're scared to do in a public event that you'd otherwise do. It does feel like you're sufficiently terrorized.
If it's one person, it's totally different. If you're talking about putting a boatload of people into a room, other people that work here, it's a different thing.
Let me address that. It's not the fear of it. They literally killed him. The intent is clear, and the risk is not, I am scared of the left. It's that they are killing people.
You got to change tactics. It's not a loss if you change your tactics. If the enemy develops a new weapon in the culture war that's like artillery and your old position's no longer viable, you just remaneuver to a new position that's more fortified. That's understandable.
The big question is, so there was a story, and I told this before. I mean, I don't know if I should, but we were in Nashville, and we were going to go. I was gonna play music. I think Ian was gonna. We were gonna go to John Rich's Honky Tonk, and there was a security threat, which I won't go into detail on. And I was told we can't do the event because of this security risk, this threat against you. And then I said, they're not gonna stop me. They can't scare me. And then I was told, Tim, this is downtown Nashville, and there are children outside. If someone comes with a gun, it's not about you. And I went, I get it. Okay. If we go to this event and we say that we're going to be on the ground at this university and some lunatic shows up with a gun, it's not just me that's at risk. It's any one of those kids or people who want to show up too.
Well, and all those kids were fleeing. They were running.
Right. And thankfully nobody else was injured, but horrifyingly, Charlie, the leader of this massive movement, has lost his life. I certainly understand the anger you might feel over this tactic stops us from doing these university events because they're so powerful and important. But so there is a level of, if I would put it like this. If we were talking about a battlefield and you know that the enemy has assassins targeting your officers, you take your officers out of the risk and then you utilize other resources in these key areas. That is to say, campus events can still happen. It just doesn't need to be the highest profile of individuals. It can be among the students that are already there, which minimizes the risks and minimizes the target, but keeps the conversations going. So TPUSA can still keep these going without Charlie. It can be handled by local chapters who can carry on these debates and make sure we don't lose momentum. But I suppose it's the debate. I'm sure people are going to say, don't keep doing the events. And
inside with security checking guns at the door.
Not possible.
If they can get targets on the president, then anybody is capable of getting.
They can literally drone bomb your house if they think.
Yes, but let's be real. Like these events that we do, I have to drive in a car to a back entrance, go in and go out with security waiting for me because we were swatted 15 times one year. We've had the bomb squad multiple times. We've had a man show up claiming he was sent by God. We have there's other security issues that I'm not going to go into detail on because they happen every single day. So this is the challenge. Like my wife is obviously extremely worried when we want to do these public culture war shows. We want to bring people and invite them in, and sure, we have security checking people and making sure people aren't coming in with weapons, which I actually don't like. I don't like that we have to do that because of me. But we can't even secure in DC. It's not possible. So this is like a major moment in this country that a lot of us thought could happen. We didn't know when or how, but we just really in the back of our minds thought it wasn't going to happen. Even though Phil and I talk about it every single night, there's no off-ramp. The escalation keeps getting worse. All day. Let me tell you what the hardest thing was. We have friends in this space, and the only thing that I wanted to tweet was that Charlie was okay.
Me too.
Even though I was getting people hitting me up, and I got a phone call, and I didn't say anything because I didn't want to believe it.
Yep.
Because the only thing that mattered was that the AP said he was stable. And I got a call from someone, when the story is breaking, and they told me this is a top level person in the know, he is stable. And I tweeted that. A source has told me that he is stable. And then when I got the next phone call, I didn't say a word because there was nothing that would make me believe it. No, absolutely not. Until everyone else started posting it.
Well, at Postmillennial and Human Events, Charlie Kirk was integral with Human Events. He was a senior contributor. Jack is a senior editor, and Jack and Charlie are obviously really tight. And so, we cover his show a lot. And we watch his cold open every day, and we go down the list. We're like, oh, we covered that. Dang, we missed that. We'll go through. But Thomas Stevenson has connections in Utah, and he used to intern on the Hill for Senator Lee. And so, I called him as soon as I heard that the shooting had happened. And he was like, and it's his day off. And he was like, let me see what's going on. Let me find out. And he was driving. He pulled over to the side of the road. And I don't know how long he stayed on the side of the road, like trying to figure out what was going on, because he had also alerted us to this event last week. He was like, this looks like it's going to be a pretty good event. I'll see if people I know are going and like what's happening at it. We had reason to believe, based on the information that Tommy was getting, that it was not going to be good news. We had reason to believe that. And we saw other people posting like, a nurse said this, or hearsay from this person, or whatever. And none of us wanted to write it. And I was like, we're not writing this down until it's confirmed. We're not writing this down. If we're the last outlet to write this down, that's fine. We're not going after anything other than like accuracy on this one. And we were just, No, we were just stunned. Like our office is fully remote. So everybody is all across the country. And one of the things that we do is bring everybody to a Turning Point event, like maybe once or twice a year, get as many people from staff out as we can and like have a toast and talk in person. And that's just not something that we normally do. Like it'll be months and months before I physically see anybody that I work with. So yeah, I mean, it definitely hit our newsroom a little hard. And I was so angry. I was so angry when I saw other outlets posting, like writing articles and sharing them, saying that he had passed before they had confirmation. Like I was just livid.
I was having a hard time when I would see people tweet, "There's no way he's going to survive."
I didn't like that
just
either.
Pray, just
Yes.
believe he's healing in a bed right now. And then, but prayer works. They call it the placebo effect in science. No one really knows exactly what's happening, but there's something.
I went to church and
some
I lit
injuries,
a ton of candles.
Some injuries are so great that it's like the spirits can't mend.
I just want to say, final thought on the issue of these live events. Guys, if our streets have become a battlefield, you don't run into the battlefield. If you are standing in an open field and you hear a gunshot, you get down and you find cover. You do not run into it without a plan. My point is, there are more effective means of being involved in this information without risking my life and losing all of the shows that we already do that reach a much wider audience over 2 live shows per month.
And your family needs you.
This is the thing about in war, if you want to consider this like a culture war or whatever, paramilitary action, you have to live like that, Tim. What you were just saying, your pride is irrelevant. It is survival. It is repositioning. It is defense, entrenchment, preparing.
It's not about ego.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.